Hey friends, welcome to the part 17. We are looking at real questions from the past. So if you have not yet subscribed, do so. I have recently cleared this certification. Why? Because my previous certifications got expired and most of the questions were almost linked to the playlist that I am displaying here. That's why I strongly recommend you guys to go through this playlist because this will be very useful for preparing for your certification. Let us look at the questions now. So you can pause this video, read this carefully. Let us talk about what is in a nutshell. We use this to enable data analytics and AI use cases on open data lake. So what is the advantage of this? It is, first of all, this is fully managed, and then this will help you provide a lot of compute, a lot of cluster. So any big data kind of compute you want to put and a lot of transformation you have to apply on millions and billions of records, use Databricks. So you already have Databricks cluster that is using user defined local processes. You need to ensure that you follow these requirements. Okay, and which cluster type you would recommend for these requirements. What are the requirements? See, if I see the question, there are conflicting requirements. First, it says your overall cost should be reduced, but then the second it says that you should also maximize the number of users that can run the, that means concurrency you should maximize. So both cannot go hand in hand. You cannot say that you need to build a car which is fuel efficient, gives more mileage, plus you want a car which performs very well. That means it will go from 0 to 100 miles per hour in few seconds. So there is no comparison between this requirement and this requirement, though there will be people like some politicians like this gentleman who would say both are possible in one car, and then there are few gentlemen who will say that, you know what, you don't need a car, bullock cart serves the purpose well. Let us scan through the options first and see the keywords. Auto termination. What does auto termination mean? It means it will terminate a cluster if it is not in use. If nobody is using it, boss, just kill it. So where will it help? It will help you to reduce your overall cost. Great. Where it will not help, boss, listen to me. Where it will not help you with the second requirement. That is this one. This requirement, will it help you? Think about it. Maximize the number of users. That means you want to maximize the concurrency. Concurrency. What is concurrency? For example, suppose you are getting into a restaurant and everybody is sharing a plate of pizza. So this is concurrency. So what will happen if so many people are sharing the pizza will get over. So we don't want a scenario where anytime the pizza is over. So what it says is, okay, if I don't have any customers, I'll not make any pizza. I'll not have any raw materials in my restaurant. Okay. So if we don't have any raw materials and immediately someone comes and says, hey, they give you order, make few plates of momos for me. What will you do? In real life, there is a warm up period. Okay, you cannot immediately spawn clusters. There is a warm up period, and that will not help you with requirement 1 and requirement 2. So anything to do with auto termination, anything to do with auto termination will not work. Okay, we are clear about it. Now let us think about auto scaling. There are a lot of people coming to a restaurant. They order dumplings or momos, and the moment, suppose this is a momo brand in India. The moment Wow Momos comes to know that, okay, my momos in that restaurant is getting consumed totally, they will immediately tell the factory boss, give some more momos and transport it to the restaurant. Okay, that is called auto scaling. That means the more the number of users, it will immediately spawn clusters. In this case, why it is useful? It is useful for this requirement. You see this, maximize the number of users concurrency that run queries. If there are more number of users coming in, it will auto scale, and the number of users will never get that, boss, your query is in the queue, you please wait. Okay, fantastic. We know that auto scaling will work. Now we have two options, B and D, both have auto scaling. Which one to choose? Now the problem with standard is if in the restaurant the momos get over and you want to build a system so that wow momos will send or replenish the stocks immediately, this system will be expensive. It cannot come as a standard service. That is why D is wrong. Why? Because you see the requirement, right? It is an expensive requirement so that your any stores, any restaurant should not be out of dumplings or momos. It should not finish. That is why we need something like high concurrency. What high concurrency will do, it will help you with minimizing the query latency. This portion, it will help you with this portion. Now somebody might say, hey boss, but it will increase the overall cost and you are asking us to reduce the overall cost. Yes boss, we are supposed to reduce the overall cost without compromising the other requirements, without compromising. And that is how your food is always served, and this will exactly meet our requirement. This is our final answer. I hope you understood the concept, how we arrived at this answer. Now let us look at this question now. Okay, this is a long question. I find such long questions very boring. I am pretty sure you would find it very boring as well. You can pause and read it. Otherwise, let me give you an explanation. There are three actors. You have a data scientist. This guy is going to run Scala and R. You have a data engineer, this guy will run Python and SQL. Then you have some automated jobs. I've put a robot here because this is automation, symbolic for automation. What this guy will do is this guy will run Scala, Python, and SQL. Now, one thing I would want you to remember about Scala. What is Scala? It is an object-oriented function programming. Okay. Now, one thing you should remember is Scala does not work with high concurrency. It does not. So in this case, we have automated job, which is using Scala, and what it says here is for automated jobs, they will put standard clusters. Okay, will it work? Yes, it will work because high concurrency does not work with Scala. Standard works. Now, data scientists, they are also making use of Scala. So for data scientists also, we should have standard cluster, but this guy is putting high concurrency cluster, and that is the reason why this is wrong. High concurrency clusters do not support Scala. Okay, this is the keyword, this is the thumb rule. Man, remember this. This is the thumb rule. You should always remember high concurrency clusters do not support Scala. Now, someone might ask, what is a high concurrency cluster? See, this is a high concurrency cluster. What are the benefits? They provide you fine grained sharing, and high concurrency clusters workloads that they work with SQL, Python, and R. Okay. High concurrency means on the same plate of pizza, everybody is sharing it. So you need more pizzas so that more people can eat. This would be our final answer. Again, we have a requirement, okay? And the beauty of these questions are you will get same questions, but this part, the solution keeps changing. And in the certification, this is very important. Do not mark something for review and skip, because in this certification, what I saw was that you have 3 sections. The moment you clear one section, go to the other section, you cannot come back to the previous section. So such questions you do not mark for review, answer it, and then move to the next, because you will never be able to come back here. So what is the story? You have a staging zone. Where is the staging zone? It is kept in Azure Data Lake storage. This is meant for high performance analytics workload. What is happening? This data is getting picked from there. Then our script runs, performs some transformation and inserts the data in Synapse data warehouse. Cool, easy. You understood the story. The solution says, hey, this is how we will do it. We will have a Azure Data Factory. Azure Data Factory, what is this? In simple terms, this is an ETL tool. Okay. And it will work at enterprise scale. Extraction, transformation, load, something like data stage, Informatica, Ab Initio, or AWS Glue. In the AWS world, you have the ETL called AWS Glue. Similarly, in this Azure world, you have Data Factory. Now, you should not confuse between Data Factory and Databricks. Databrick is a cluster, is a processing engine, is a compute. Data Factory is your ETL tool. So here they are saying that I will use a Data Factory schedule trigger. I will execute the pipeline. And what will the pipeline do? It copies the data to a staging table in warehouse, and then it will use a stored procedure to execute the R script. That means this guy is hallucinated. Okay, why hallucination happens? When people consume such products day in and day out, you are supposed to perform the transformation before the data hits Synapse. This guy is saying, I will take the data from here directly into Synapse. There will be a table here. I will call it a staging table. And after that, I will process the data using R script. But this guy is not telling after processing the data what he will do. Will he enter the data in a table in Synapse? What he will do? Okay. So this is totally against what the question is expected. Hence, this is wrong because it did not answer the requirement. It was not as per the requirement. The requirement says the R script is between your staging area. Your staging area is in data lake storage. It is not in Synapse data warehouse. Okay, guys, let's chill. We now know why this answer was wrong. Okay. Now let us look at this next question. This is about stream analytics. What is stream analytics? The moment you hear real time, real time, it is stream analytics. Stream analytics. It's all about real time analytics from the cloud to the edge. You can build streaming pipelines in minutes. You can run mission critical workloads with sub-second latency. So fast, man. What are you using stream analytics for? You are using it to retrieve the gaming data. Okay, there may be online games and etc. You want to retrieve the game data. It is about a gaming application. So what do you need from this data? You want to ensure that the job returns highest scoring people every 5-minute interval of each game. Every 5 minutes, when you're trying to play a game and you have a console and so on. So you're playing and etc, and you want to know, okay, who's first, who's second, and those kind of stuff. It will help you with this. So you are formulating a select query. The select query you are formulating for analyzing the data coming from stream analytics. Which sort of data? It is gaming data. Now since we are looking only for the highest scoring stuff, highest, okay, so there are multiple options. One is saying you got top one. What is top one? This will help you return the top rank record, and it defines the ranking position of the event. This is exactly what we need, and this is a syntax how it is used. So they do use over, order by, column, and so on. So we got over here, we got over, order by, etc. So this is our answer because this is exactly meant for this purpose. Okay, but let us look at other options which seems logical. What is max score? So the max function, it just returns the maximum value in an expression. You give an expression, it will tell you, okay, this is the maximum value. So you understood the difference. Top one gives you highest ranked value, max gives you the maximum value, not rank would be, see, if you have, like, if you score 100 points, you are rank 1. If you are trying to do a max on rank 1, so 1 would be the lowest, it will, and 100 will be highest. So the last guy, it will show that, okay, this is the last guy, 100. You don't want that, you want the first guy. Okay, so that's why top one is our answer. Now let us look at group by. Group by, we are talking about so many other options. See, one thing you should remember, in most of the answers for this certification, a lot of thing has to do with tumbling window. Okay, tumbling window is the key. This is a key concept. Most of the questions which is around this hopping and tumbling and etc, the answer would be tumbling. And what is this tumbling window? If you see, this windows are a series of fixed size non-overlapping. So whenever you want, in this case, why we want non-overlapping? Because we only want person who is ranked first in these 5 minutes. Who says so? Not my grandfather, not my father. The question says so. Okay, it tells you here that they want for each 5 minute interval of each game. Suppose you consider duplicates from the previous 5 minute interval, and then you are screwed up because you are going to give a wrong result. For better understanding, pause this video, look at this diagram. There is no overlapping stuff. This guy is totally isolated from this guy, and this guy is totally isolated from this guy. And stumbling would be our answer. What is hopping? Hopping is like you keep hopping from one place to other. No, man, it is not like our political parties are doing. They keep hopping from a different political party to the ruling party. I hope I will not see a day when this guy also joins BJP. Okay, that day I don't want. What is hopping window? Hopping window, if you see this, unlike tumbling windows, hopping windows model schedule overlapping. So there is always an overlap. Where you see this diagram, you see this, there is no isolation. This overlaps with this overlaps with this. There's always some sort of overlapping. Will overlapping work? In our case, it will not work because we do not what we want unique for those 5 minutes who ranked first. So that's why hopping is wrong. Now if we talk about Windows function, see, Windows function, always remember, Windows function will not let you tumble from this window. This small window, you cannot do this, you cannot tumble out. Okay, it will not be comfortable. That is why we never use Windows function. Plus the problem is, inside Windows they are making use of tumbling window as well as hopping. This does not work. Do you think in India BJP and Congress, can they form a coalition? No, probably not. Highly improbable. Highly improbable. Now if you talk about this game, I could not search a documentation which has game. I'm not aware of this one. If you are aware, please drop in your comments. Okay, so this was a fantastic question based on gaming datasets. Now if you have questions on why not collect top, so this is the justification for it, and you can pause and read this carefully. There we have explained hopping windows, tumbling windows, and what is the main difference between these two types of windows. So we would log this answer. This is our final answer. I hope you understood the concept behind arriving at these answers. If you have not yet subscribed, please do so. This is the only channel, man, only channel which is helping people clear certifications with this sort of in-depth analysis of the questions, options, answers. Believe me, it takes tons of hard work and effort to bring on these contents. I have to do a lot of analysis because I have very few opportunities to go wrong, because if I go wrong, you might end up with answering or choosing wrong answers. So this brings us to the end of part 17. Please believe me, these are all real questions from the past. What are the probability of getting the same questions in the certification exam or similar questions? You will get it, man. You will get a lot of similar and same questions in the certification exam. There will be some questions which will be different, but you can still pass the certification easily. If you have not yet become a member, click the join button below in the description. Click the join button or click the link in the description and become a member. What member? Cloud Kernel or Cloud Ninja members gain access to the paid content. The free content plus the paid content will help you clear the certification. See you in the next part.